They are streaming this live right now on their website, on Channel 19, and on their Facebook page. And then they record this. They send us the link. We put it up on our website, so it's there for anyone who actually missed it or wants to come back and watch it again or send it to somebody. So thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. We really do appreciate your help during these times. So if you're joining the call now, you need to stay muted, please, until it's your time to talk, which may be at the end when we open up for some Q&A. The way we're going to work this as far as question and answers go, when we hit that point where Tiombe is done speaking and we open up for folks to ask questions, I don't know if you're familiar with Zoom, but at the bottom of your page, if you go down to where it says participants and hover over that, off to the right, there's a little icon that says raise hand, and you can raise your hand. I'll see it, and we'll keep you guys in the queue for the questions. You can also chat if you want. You can chat out a question if you want to. So we've done this before. It went pretty well. Hopefully this will go well too. Our intention today was to bring on a small business, because really small business is the backbone of how things run here in Carroll, in the state of Maryland, and in the U.S. And small business is really being hurt right now. You know, I have my own question. I don't get it all political, but I've often asked myself, if people can be going to Walmarts and the big box stores, why can't we find a way to open up some of the small businesses and manage it in a safe way with masks and things like that? But I think the thing to keep in mind is, even though a lot of the small folks are shut down right now, they're not completely shut down, in that you can shop online with them. You can call them up. You can buy things from them. So always to encourage you, before you go to Amazon, you want to check out your local businesses. And we've got a great website. I'm going to try to share the screen here with you for a second and show you our main page of our website. You should be looking at it now. We've got our COVID-19 updates here. We've got our membership directory, and you click on that, and we got a little message here saying that most chamber members are open for business, even if they're closed. You can call them. You're going to find, from what Tiombe has to say, she's found an extremely creative way to stay engaged with her customers, to allow them to actually shop from her. But again, before you shop online with Amazon, check out the local businesses. I'd also be remiss not to show you, we've got a great page here about the restaurants that are open. These are all the members of the chamber who are open for carryout or delivery at this point. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen right now. And I want to let you know, before I introduce Tiombe, some upcoming webinars that we have. And again, these are all free. We're offering these up to you. So the only thing is you have to register so you can get the Zoom login information. April 29th, we've got Doug Howard, Growth Team Strategies, talking about how to combat things that you're going through right now as far as the COVID-19 actual crisis. Then May 5th, we have Commissioner Steve Wantz. We offer every year 5 separate commissioner updates. This is the first one we're doing, and we're doing this online, so you can dial in for this. You can watch him talk. May 7th, we've got Mr. Rick Lembach from Startup Portal talking again about looking to the future as far as COVID. When all this is, how do you navigate now? How do you navigate in the future? He's an expert at working with businesses that actually start up, and a lot of people are going to be kind of like starting up again when this opens up. We're going to try our first virtual after-hour networking event on May 7th, and we'll see how that goes. We encourage you all to come in. I don't have it down here, but I think we're calling it Chamber Cheers Zoom with us. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be on May 7th. May 13th, we have got very, very well-known economist Anirban Basu is going to talk. We've got room for 500 on that call, and that, again, is going to be free. We have an email that's going to be coming out about that. And then we have another virtual after-hour connection, which is like a mini new member expo on May 19th, and we'll have information about that as well. So I believe at that point, I am ready. I think I've done all of my announcements, so I'm ready really to introduce our speaker. And again, when you think about small business, you think about Main Street, but it's not just Main Street. It's businesses that are small all over the place, and they're having a really hard time. But some of them are really coming up with interesting ways to stay engaged with their customers. And Tiombe Paige is certainly one of them. Tiombe is a member of the board of the chamber. She's the chair of our Launch Carroll committee, which is our young professionals. And she's a business owner, entrepreneur, and owns a little shop here called Cultivated. It's a wonderful boutique that's right out. I could walk from here over to her, but they'd lock me up because we would be too close together. So that being said, I'm going to introduce you now to Tiombe Paige. And as things go towards the end, if you have a question at the end, please raise your hand. But let's hear it up. Everybody, wherever you're at, please give some applause for Miss Tiombe Paige.
Hilarious. Thank you, Mike. All right. Good morning, everyone. So this talk came about after a meeting where we were discussing how do you pivot your business during COVID-19. And this is specifically for small businesses. I know a lot of those loans, grants, funds, things that we've seen say 0 to 500. Those are not the same type of businesses. If you have 0 to 50 and 50 to 500, those are two different types. So I'm going to address what I call Main Street businesses, the mom and pop shops, those that maybe have 1 or 0 or 4 or 14. How do we pivot our business during this time? I'm going to be as transparent and as honest as I know how. And I told Mike if at any point he wanted to jump in, he was totally able, because we do well jumping back and forth with each other. So my first point would be, and this is going to sound a little cruel, but stop waiting at the mailbox. Who knows when your check is going to come in? I have no idea. But while you're standing there waiting, your customers are forgetting about you. You're not engaging in your business, and you're losing time. And so my second point would be, what's your lemonade recipe? Obviously, we as a small business, we've been told that we're not essential and that we can't be open to the public. Okay, fine. So now what is your recipe to make lemonade? How are you going to change this? Have you stopped freaking out long enough to create a plan? Have you found a way to still stay connected with your customers? What are you going to sell? I understand that you can't open the doors. I have a retail store. I can't open the door and sell 100 of my products. But what I have done is I have rethought how to go about this. And so that is my third point, to rethink everything. And so what I've done is I have decided Cultivated is a place where people are supposed to come and be together, not just shop for things, but build relationship. And so how could I produce that during this time? Virtual shopping. So I've extended to my customers for them to be able to call me on whatever social media platform is easiest for them. FaceTime, Zoom, Instagram call, Facebook. Even if you have a Samsung phone, you can video any video way. And I will walk them through the store with the video after having a good 10-minute conversation with them so that we feel connected again and they can shop for the things that they need. The bottom line is people still need things. But in the middle of this pandemic, we sometimes get overwhelmed and even our customers forget. And so I understand that it's hard for us, but we still have to keep our business, what we do, in the front of our customer. And so I will be really honest, it is beyond labor intensive. I was telling Mike earlier this morning, I think I work harder now than I did even when I first opened. The other part of this is that I think it's really, really important if you take step 3 to rethink things and then step 4. I think it's essential to partner with another business or someone that can hold you accountable. The reason I say this is because it is easy to get overwhelmed and then sort of just retreat. I can't do anything. I can't open the doors of my business, therefore I can't sell. But if you have someone to hold you accountable, or if you have another business that you can check in with every day, you guys can sort of motivate each other. And I got a phone call the other day from a friend who said, I know you're really busy. I know you have a lot on your mind. I know you're trying to do things, but I need to encourage you to update your website. And at first I was a little almost offended, like, oh my gosh, I'm already doing so much. I can't do anything more. But then when I tried to think, okay, let me make this person my partner and not someone that's just telling me what to do, what I realized she was saying is there's a way that people are trying to get a hold of you and they're not receiving the information that they need to so that I could make the money I need to. So I quickly had to pivot that and go, okay, let me log into my website. Let me look and see what she's talking about. And let me go ahead and see if I can make these changes. Yes, is it more work? But I think we have to sort of set our pride down for a moment. I know that's hard for a lot of small businesses. We are very prideful about what we have created. And I think in all of this, it's going to take this big pause and for us to sort of realize, like, you can do this. It is going to be extremely hard, but it may take you readjusting yourself just a little bit, right? I take calls at 7 a.m. if a customer messages me about a product because I want them to know I think you're important enough for me to go, hey, I'm not at the store at 7 a.m., but let me get back to you as soon as I'm there. Be it a text message, Facebook. I'm on more platforms now. I can barely even remember how I received a message from somebody. Did they message me on Instagram? Was it on Facebook? Did they email? It's definitely hard, but it is definitely possible. And then my last and final point before I see Mike jotting down a bunch of things that he probably wants to ask me is take it step by step. I know this is sort of hard. As business owners, we feel like we always have to rush. You have to rush to the next thing. You are a one-armed paper hanger. You're doing everything by yourself. But last night I was playing this game called Rush Hour, and it's a game where the cars move. You can move the cars only in the direction that they're going, and the point is to get the red car out to win. And I realized at a certain point, I had to stop, look at the board at its entirety, and just move one car at a time instead of trying to figure out how to move all the cars to hurry and get the red car out. And once I figured out that you had to make small movements, the game went quicker, actually. And I think sometimes that's really difficult, right? We keep thinking, I have to pay rent. I got payroll tax due. I need to pay my employees. They're going to shut me down. I can't get product in. And we start moving really fast instead of slowing down and sort of panning out and sort of looking at the whole thing and going, okay, maybe if I move this piece here, I move this piece here. Okay. The car starts to inch a little more towards the exit. So those would be the places that I would sort of, tell you to start. It's funny. I've spoken to a lot of small businesses and we want to get back to normal. And I'm not necessarily certain that we want to get back to that. I remember a time when business owners would be almost upset when a customer walked in 5 minutes before we closed, and now we'd give anything to have that. But I think we need to move forward to like a new normal. What does the new normal look like? Maybe not getting back to the way things were before. Maybe you were hustling before. Maybe there's a better way to rethink how to make your business essential to your customers, how to provide them with that next level of service, how to even maybe start back at the beginning, pare down. What was your mission statement? Why did you initially open up your business? How can you offer your customers what they need so that they're not running to, like Mike said, Amazon or Target or Walmart or the places that are still open? The reality of the situation is, as a small business, you could probably get your customers what they need faster than Amazon can right now. So as a small business, we do actually have advantages. Again, it just takes that sort of slowing down and figuring out what that looks like, how we navigate that. I got a product in the store maybe a couple months ago that I just thought was like a fun add-on product, and it's a bath bomb with a toy in it. Really has nothing to do with what Cultivated really is. It was just like a fun thing to carry in the store. The last 2 or 3 weeks, my number one selling product. And so what do? Call the vendor up. Hi, how quickly can you get me 1,000 more of those bath bombs with toys in them? And really what that came from was, 1, communicating with my customers, 2, listening to what they said, and then adjusting my business to fit their needs. The name of the game is really, let's stay in this. Let's stay in the game as long as possible. And so we have to be willing to pivot. Mike, any questions? I see you.
Tiombe, take us through. I mean, one of the reasons why we've got you on now is because of the unique idea of the whole shopping with somebody as you're walking them through the store. Just take us through that again, because there's other businesses that can certainly do that. And what I like about that is maybe there are some businesses that can't do that, but I like that you were creative enough to come up with an idea that you could do, because in this time, it's really easy to get depressed out there and say, and for anybody, whether you own a business or not, or you're just employed somewhere or not, it's easy to get depressed because things have changed so much. And when are they going to open up again? I don't know. And even when they open up, are people going to want to come out? But you kind of found a way around, from what I can see, keeping your customers engaged with you. So if I were to call you up and I wanted to shop for something at your store, just kind of take me through how that normally goes.
Okay. So first of all, let me readjust and say I have limited it to 2 days because I am human. So every Thursday and Friday, customers can book an appointment, 40-minute slot to sort of virtual shop with me. So Mike, you would tell me what's the best way for me to get a hold of you. I would get a hold of you. We'd probably sit and chat and catch up for a couple minutes, because that really is, relationship is the foundation of my business. And then I'm going to ask you, well, what is it that you're looking for? Is it Marsha's birthday? Are you looking to give a gift to a buddy? And then I'm going to walk through and suggest a couple of things to you. And you may or may not have seen things on my Facebook or my Instagram account that sort of you would like to also inquire about. Once that's complete, once the shopping experience is actually done, phone goes off, I pull the items, ring them. During that phone call, I've asked you, are you local? I'll deliver it to you. If you're not, I'll ship it to you. And then that transaction gets completed, the items get bundled, and they get sent along their way. It sounds simple. It does take a lot of work. I had a call last week where one young lady, I think was from Washington State, and her sister was from somewhere else. And we did a Zoom call with the two of them so they could pick out a gift for their mom. And I hand wrote a note. That is one of the other key things too. I hand wrote a note from them to their mom, attached it to the bag, and then delivered it for them. And that's that part about being a small business that we are able to do that maybe some of the big box stores are not.
Tiombe, I am going to jump in there. I do like hearing how you do that, because whether we like to think of it or not, small business has been at war with Amazon. And it's only getting worse right now because all the different regulations, all the different rules out there that have shut down all the small businesses. And again, I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to say that Hogan's doing a bad job. I think he's doing a really good job in a lot of ways. I just still can't quite understand why these larger stores can be open, but a place like yours can't, where you could regulate no more than 2 customers in your store at one time, or 3 customers, and they have to wear masks and blah, 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 all the different things. But if we've ever been at war with Amazon, it's now, because all the rules, it's like all the rules have been changed, where if you want to buy something, most people think there's no other way to do it than to go on Amazon. And I mean, unfortunately, that's become a lot of the mindset, but a lot of things in this area. I still want to tell people, Tiombe is not the only one. She's come up with a really good idea on how to do this. But there's a lot of businesses here in Carroll you can still shop with and you can go to. So, Tiombe, I wanted to ask you one other thing, and then I'll open this up for questions. We do have a comment here. Kimberly Fernandez said, "That's amazing. Great advice." I think she was talking about what you had to say, not what I had to say. As far as staying visible, I mean, you're very big on Facebook. You're getting the message out. People are spending a lot of time at home, and they're on the internet. They're checking out emails. They're looking at Facebook. We're doing a lot of that with the chamber. But how important is that to you right now? Is it more important than it's always been? Is it just more acute right now? Is it more heightened? Because you're doing a really good job of staying visible on Facebook.
So I think for Cultivated, we've always done a pretty good job at being on social media. Where I personally struggle right now is I don't like putting my face out there. I'm not a selfie person. I don't like doing videos like I'm doing right now. But what I have noticed and what I have been told, and people and my mentors are correct, when people see your face, when they hear your voice, they connect with you. They buy into you. You are your business. And so I will say, for the times that I've done a video and it's not staged, it's not, there's no special effects or lighting, when I've just done a really raw, authentic video, I have gotten tremendous amount of feedback. Even something for these businesses as small as just taking your camera and walking people through your store so that they can remember what it was like to be in the shop, gives them that feeling that, oh my gosh, I remember what that's like. Let me figure out, do I need something from them? Do I need a painting to hang on that wall? Do I need a pair of running socks? You know, oh yeah, I don't want to fix lunch for my kids. Let me order food from them, you know, and get some food for my kids. People really connect when they see our face. And that, I think, for me, was one of the biggest changes that I had to make.
Well, that's great. Do we have any questions out there? I'll wait to see some hands, but I did want to mention something about being on Facebook, being on social media, being creative, making it fun. We did something through the chamber last week. It's kind of interesting. It was called we did this in a way to draw people to our website, to find the link that shows all of the restaurants that are still open who are members of ours, and also to give the message again that I've done a couple times here today. Don't go to Amazon, go to one of the local businesses, shop from them. We're doing this thing, it's called Carroll Corona Carryout. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's kind of funny. Little thing where we're dancing around in the beginning, and then me and Steve Lowe from 127 Creative and Dennis Twig, who's the chair of our board. Last week, we went out and we bought lunch at a Mediterranean restaurant in Westminster. And we basically did a Zoom call like this, talking about the food, and we had a lot of fun, and we've got a lot of people have liked it. And again, it's a way just to fight back a little bit against the big guys and let them know, hey, the small businesses are out there. We're going to be doing another one this afternoon that we're going to record. Hopefully it'll come out on Friday. We've also been doing some emails that we've been sending out. Becky Seek, who's our new community engagement manager, came up with an idea, caring amidst COVID-19. So we've got members sending us information on volunteer things they're giving, like that, trying to keep the message out there. So I do believe that if you're creative on Facebook, if you're present in those areas, it's going to help you tremendously. And I've seen it happen with Tiombe. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. And just a couple more tips. One, if you guys haven't, maybe change your banner on Facebook. Little changes make a big difference. Change your banner on Facebook. Let people know what you're doing now. We have one more huge chance to push for sales. Mother's Day is May 10th. And maybe that's where you start your plan. How do I gear up to do sales for Mother's Day? Everyone has a mother. Everyone's going to want to get their mother something, whether it's you just sell a gift certificate to your place, a gift basket. You know, like I said, because we have greeting cards here, we've done handwritten notes where we've written the note for the person and mailed it on their behalf. That means a great deal. So I think, again, you have to take the time to do those small steps. And yes, is it more work? It is. I think I said to Mike this morning, I think as a small business owner, if I could air my quick frustration, I feel like, or my exhaustion, I feel like I haven't gotten to participate in the quarantine necessarily. I feel like I'm busier now than I was before. And I was joking with Mike and he said, yeah, I see people doing puzzles and I'm up till 10 o'clock at night typing emails. That's just where we are. And I think I had to let the notion go that, like, I might not get to put together a puzzle or do a Lego house right now. I might not get to binge watch Netflix so that I can say hashtag all done Netflix. That's not my story. And I have to be okay with that so that I can focus myself enough to do what I need to do.
Does anybody have a business that you're doing something creative that you'd like to share? I see we've got Miss Brooke Haggerty on here, the food chick, and I know she's all over Facebook. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's still around. If she'd like to give a short tip, Brooke, on what you've been doing and why you think that's important for a small business to stay visible. I can unmute you if you'd like to talk. Can you give me a thumbs up? You'd be good? All right, we're going to unmute you.
Hi, everyone. What I've been doing, because I was actually in the process of making the move over to strictly meal plans and pre-ordered meals. I have created a small little retail area for food products, for some higher end products that you would have to drive to Wegmans for or whatnot, but you can get them at my place now. I'm also doing some grocery items, chicken breast, chicken thighs, some produce if people don't want to go to the larger grocery stores. I'm offering curbside service. I'm offering free delivery within 5 miles of the store. We have to schedule that because I am working alone. I don't have a mask on because I have approval from the health department because I do work alone. I do not have to wear a mask unless somebody comes into my store. So don't think that I'm doing anything wrong, people, but I always have gloves on, always gloves. So I'm just finding that the more I'm getting out there with my social media, as Tiombe says, and letting people know what I'm doing. My other business, which is the Healthy Chick, my wellness consulting business, I do a morning minute on that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So people see me on there. I've been sort of intertwining the two businesses now, just as Tiombe said, to make sure that I'm still in people's eyes and they see what I'm doing. So it's really important, especially now.
Well, Brooke, thank you so much. I mean, I know I've seen you all over Facebook, and I do believe that that's something where you do a really good job keeping yourself visible. And I think even if you've got a business that's shut down, you can still stay out there, still keep the message going. So
yep.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who has a business right now that you're doing something that you think might be good to share with the group? It's almost a bit of like a networking time we have here. Nobody's got all the answers, but I think working together, we can come up with a lot. Or Tiombe, anything else you wanted to add? Any other tips from your perspective? I know there's more gems in that brain of yours. You just don't like to be on camera.
I don't like to be on camera, but I will say, if you are not good with social media, if you're not good, figure out, use the chamber as a resource. What businesses are there that are? Maybe ask them for a trade right now. If you're a food business and you're not good with social media, contact Advantage Internet Marketing, like I see behind Mike's head. Contact some of these other businesses and ask them, hi, can I feed you for a week? And can you possibly help me at least make small tweaks? This is the time when we have to, again, go back to the beginning, really start to figure out how can we get out of this? And it might not look like how you think it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, and I don't want to put you on the spot, John Allen from Advantage Internet Marketing, but I mean, you guys are currently doing a really good job for us. And hang on, I do see a couple. I'm going to have you talk, John, then I've got a couple comments we can talk about here in a minute. But you guys have been helping us with our Facebook page and our website. So maybe you might want to share the importance, and not so much, this is not a commercial by any means for you guys, but just information for people to understand how important it is to stay visible out there and to do marketing still.
I'll just repeat what Tiombe says and act like it was my idea. So the important thing is to just keep out in front of people, keep connected, keep those relationships going, and be sensitive to the environment and situations that people are in. So you might be posting something that you've done 100 times before, but you have to realize that not all of your customers are fully employed right now. They may be restricted in terms of what they can do. So you have to really be sensitive to a lot of different things that you're so used to doing. You have to, like Tiombe said, you have to rethink things, and then look at your customer base and what their needs are that have changed in this environment and how you can serve them. We're dealing with some service businesses that they're so used to doing things a certain way, but now they have to stay on the outside of the house or communicate virtually rather than in-home visits. So, and I can go on all day, but I think Tiombe has kind of hit it right on the head in terms of rethinking, because especially for those of us who've been in business for a number of years, we're so used to doing things the same way. And I think one thing that's really valuable right now is to talk to other business owners, go to webinars, and learn how people are pivoting in your industry.
John, that's great advice. Thank you. And I do think also, coming back to something that Tiombe said in the beginning, I've always thought of this. We really don't have any control over so many things in life, what people do to us, what people say to us, how they treat us, or things that just happen in the world. But what we do have control over is how we respond to it. And it shows real character when you get kicked in the gut by something like this. I mean, before this happened, before COVID-19, things were just cruising along, looking really sweet in a lot of ways, maybe not for everybody's business, but overall. And now we have to do things differently. I've got a couple of comments here that we can read, and maybe I've got Chad Dukes of MSN, it's hard to read it all, group, saying we have something that we've been doing that's a little different. Chad, you want to share that with us real fast?
Certainly, yeah. It's M&S Group, and thank you, Mike. So we're an IT consulting firm in cybersecurity, and early on when this started to happen, we were wondering, what can we do to stay in people's minds, and what can we do to give back? I remembered reading an article about somebody in the Baltimore area, and I wish I'd remembered their name, but I don't, unfortunately, who was 3D printing face masks and things of that nature. And I thought, that's really great. I wish we had something like that, but we don't produce, anything physical. What can we do? So we put our brains together and we came up with our M&S Gives Back program. What we do is we provide cybersecurity consulting, IT staffing, things of those nature. We have a lot of folks who have been laid off as a result of this, and we have a lot of expertise in IT staffing. So we decided we would give away a free resume review to anybody who's been impacted. We also decided for anybody who had to lay off IT staff that we would be able to work with them to see what we could do to help alleviate those issues. We're giving away a free block of consulting time and some help desk hours to people who need that. We're also working with organizations like the different chambers, different networking groups, and industry groups to help them provide content so they can have value for their members. So for years, we've provided training for our clients. We help train them on how to stay safe in the internet, how to make sure that they're in compliance with certain data privacy standards. So those are things we've already been prepared to do, but we do them live in front of customers. And we thought, well, if we're doing them live in front of a customer, we could also provide HIPAA training to Maryland Medical Management Association and help their members add some value. So we're trying to find different ways we can use our expertise to help other people, which requires a little creativity.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that information, and it does. We've all got to be extremely creative. I've got a post here. I've got a chat thing here from Kimberly Fernandez. I don't know if you want to talk at all. If you'd like to come out and share this, but they've done virtual consultations. It's Girlkin Lashes, I believe. Not a place I'd go for myself, but others will love it, I'm sure. I go to the cigar shops. We've done virtual consultations, also done virtual spa parties where we teach customers about how to make homemade masks. I also have a fun fitness gene challenge for our customers and friends to remain active during this time. Are you anywhere where you'd like to speak for a second, Kimberly? Maybe not. She's going to go with the chat part. We've also had some people just give some nice comments here saying it means a lot when small business owners thank you for coming in, especially now. Amy Guilford from Marriage Resource Education Center, I believe is MREC, is doing a FaceTime live each Tuesday. Today's topic at 3 is technology, sex, and teens. Amy, are you on the call? You want to share for a minute some of the things you guys are doing as you morph over into a virtual group?
Yes, I'm going to just leave my face in the dark, if that's okay. I just came in from exercising and it was raining. See, our nonprofit center building has been closed for several weeks now. and will remain closed into May. So we definitely had to do some pivoting. And I love following Tiombe on social media. She is always an inspiration. So I appreciate her doing effort to get her message out there. So we've tried to do that Talk About It Tuesday theme on social media. Last week we tried Instagram, just to try that social media platform a little bit.
We might have lost you right there. I think your audio went out, but obviously, again, you guys are doing interesting stuff. That's cool. You can look them up on their website. I've got Jamie from Downtown Yoga, one of our fitness members at the chamber, saying Downtown Yoga has gone virtual classes, or has done virtual classes, ran specials, given back to the community. The virtual classes, Jamie, are you on here where you could, it's hard to see the screen if everybody's on here, but if you'd like to share from, yeah, okay, great. If you want to tell us for a couple seconds, how's it been going with the online classes, just actual virtual?
It's been more successful than we could have imagined. And we're very fortunate that we can, because of the online classes, we've been able to keep the majority of our unlimited members so that we still have money coming in every month, and then we can pay our instructors what we normally would pay them. So that's been really good. And I think the biggest takeaway that we got from it is just the pure joy that people have when they first we do it through Zoom. And when they first log on and they see everybody's faces, it makes them feel like there's some kind of like they're back in the studio socializing before class. And that has been, I think, the biggest thing that Lynn, Chad, and I have just been so grateful for, because their happiness is, you can tell. And so that's been really good. And we've done karma classes where people could make donations. And because of that, we were able to give, I think, like $250 to Shepherd staff. And we did another one where we donated to Carroll County Food Sunday. And then we put a link on our website where if people felt inclined, they could make donations. So because of that, we were able to help an unlimited member who could no longer afford to, she was out of a job and no longer be able to afford the membership. We were able to give her unlimited yoga for free for another month. So those kind of things have been really, really good for our community to keep them strong and to keep them there. So that's what we've been doing.
Thank you so much. And again, that's just another great way that a local business is figuring out how to stay relevant, how to stay out there, how to keep people engaged. I applaud you guys for that. I know that's great. I will say this too, at the chamber, we've been doing all we can to get as much information out there for free, all these webinars that I said, they're all going to be for free. We want you all to take part in it. One thing you could do for any small businesses that is when this is over, maybe forward them the link. It'll be up on our website probably tomorrow. CMC will have it up there today, so they can watch this, because some people maybe aren't as creative. Maybe they're really good with whatever kind of a business that they want to have, but they're maybe not as creative on how to navigate waters like this. And this might help them to, get their thoughts going, hearing some other ideas, and then even just thinking, hey, you know what? I need to call somebody and bounce some ideas off of them. We also have, I think we've got, let me see here, the comments. We've got Kimberly back. Kimberly, you have a second to talk. Do you have access to audio to talk a little bit about your virtual consultations and your spa parties?
Yes, I'm sorry about that. So thank you. I really want to thank you all for setting up this forum. And like Tiombe said, I'm finding myself busier now. And if you hear a little one yell, "Mommy," it's because I'm home with my kids. So I apologize. That's why I chose to type initially. So Girl Can Lashes is a luxury lash lounge. We specialize in glamorous lash extensions and amazing customer experience. Because of the nature of what we do, I've been focusing less on selling and more of creating value and remaining relevant to our customers. So, I personally reached out to our customers regarding their upcoming appointments, making sure that they understand how to take care of their lashes during this time. We've also created a forum where we do virtual spa parties where we encourage people to take household items to create a facial mask just to take care of their skin, so they can remain feeling beautiful during this time as well. I've also made it a point to make sure that I'm in constant contact with my employees to make sure that we keep morale up. It's very important because when we come back, if we don't have any employees, we have nothing. So that is, has been a priority for me, is just making sure that we continue to create value and make sure that I keep the morale up with my employees.
Kimberly, thank you so much. And that's an excellent point that you make about keeping the staff happy too and keeping them engaged. I mean, at the Chamber, we've been operating with 2 employees for the longest time, and we finally went to the point of hiring a third, Becky, and she's great. Just the timing, hiring her March 2nd, and then the economy falls apart 2 weeks later, but we're keeping her on board. We've made a commitment. We're staying strong, and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do like an hour staff meeting on Zoom just to kind of talk it out, see each other, talk, see how everybody's doing. So that's a really good idea to keep that actual connection going. Tiombe, this was your show. You've got hijacked a little bit. Is there anything you'd like to say? Is anybody else? We've got time if somebody wants to do anything at all to, kind of tell us some of the special things that you're doing. And I will say this, as far as almost everybody on the call is a member of the Chamber, but for those of you who aren't, we'd love to get you on board. We've got about 625 local businesses who are members. And if you're interested and you want to come on board and join, I know these are tough times, call us up. We'll figure out what to work things out for you, installments. We'll figure something out to get you engaged with the local community. But Tiombe, anything you'd like to share as you've been listening to this?
No, I don't think I got hijacked at all. I think this went exactly the way I wanted it to go. I love when other people have the courage to speak up and talk. And I definitely didn't want to be the only person here just speaking. I will say I love some of the ideas of how some of these businesses are engaging their customers, not just to shop, but to be still community and stay engaged. Kimberly's idea and what Downtown Yoga is doing. And even for us this Thursday, I think it's 7, we're doing a sip and no shop, which is just a Zoom call where customers can, chime in and sort of chit chat with one another, and we can catch up and people can see each other's face. And I think Jamie made a great point. I think I hate video. I hate putting my face out there, but there's something about when you get to see another person's face that just sort of gives you a spark of joy, or you forget all of the craziness and the pandemic around you. And for just that small moment, you feel at peace or some sense of normalcy. And so I want to encourage everybody, all of you businesses, figure out a way to get on video and talk to your customers. Figure out a way to put your face out there, even if it's just to say, hi, I miss you. I can't wait to see you again. Figure out a way to be vulnerable and transparent with them for a moment, not in hopes that they will shop right now, but in hopes that they'll stay connected and support us when we need it. Our customers are the first ones to knock on our door when they need Little League donations and booster gift certificates. And so it's okay to put your face out there and say, hi, I miss you. I don't know what we're doing right now, but I just needed you guys to see my face. And I hope you miss me in the same way that I miss you.
And we have missed you, Tiombe, but I get to see you all the time. I think I saw Brooke Haggerty raising her real hand, not the Zoom hand that I've been looking for, the little blue icon. She's this little teeny picture here because I've got everybody on the screen raising her hand. So I'm going to unmute you.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. I'm in the kitchen, so I'm not really touching things right now. I do want to give a quick little blurb about my husband's restaurant, Buds at Silver Run, is open for carryout, but he's also sponsoring the Silver Run Food Pantry. That's normally at the St. Mary's Church up the street from us in Silver Run. They only operate one night a week. So now it's running out of Buds at Silver Run in conjunction with Brewers Market and the Food Chick. We're accepting donations at Buds. We're open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. You can go on the Buds website and find all of that. It's been a wonderful thing for the community. You don't have to be from Silver Run. Ken's actually delivering to places in Westminster and Eldersburg for people that need food. So that's been wonderful for him. And plus he's open 6 nights a week for carryouts. And the downtown Westminster Farmers Market, we are opening on May 16th on time. We will be practicing social distancing. Our booths will be 12 feet apart. There'll be some special things that people are going to need to be doing. We're all going to be in masks and gloves, and we're asking that our customers come in masks. But lots of stuff is going on with that. There are going to be a lot of updates happening over the next 2 weeks for that. So thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for sharing. And you know what I would say too, when you hear about a restaurant like Bud's is open, keep in mind that's an example of a restaurant. They're great. They're awesome. Their food's amazing. But when we hear that Bud's is open, guess what? So many other ones are open. When I showed you that the actual website we have with all the restaurants that are members of ours, we're doing all we can. Maybe not all we can. We're doing right now all we can think to do. We saw that Peter Francho, Maryland's comptroller, had a website where he listed all the restaurants he saw in Maryland that were open for business still. And one of our members sent us an email saying that they didn't see themselves on his link. So, we had, we took the time to go and look at his site and found out there were like 20 restaurants that are open here that are members of ours that he didn't have on his site. So we quickly sent an email to him, gave him all the restaurants, and then they got put back up there. So we're doing all we can. We'd like to have a page that would say all the businesses we have that are open, but out of 600 and some members, it would probably be the vast number of them because in some capacity, they're open. So we keep trying to preach the message. If you're looking to buy a product, if you're looking for someone to help you, either a law firm or insurance firm or real estate or whatever, these people are still there for business. Call them up. All right, we're getting close to the end here. Are there any other questions or comments? I know Becky, I'm going to let Becky see, some of you haven't seen her face yet. I'm going to let you see her, our new community engagement manager. And she wants to talk quickly about how she'd like you guys to send her information. If you're doing something for the community, how you're giving back so we can include it in the email that we've been sending out there, carrying amidst COVID. So Becky, I'm going to unmute you and give you a chance to give, I'm going to try to unmute you. It's not working. Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
I think so. Good morning, everyone. I saw someone's comment from Lisa, it looks like, about just, the opportunity to be the light. And that was the inspiration behind why we started the Caring Amidst COVID email campaigns, just because, everyone is surrounded by the news and we just needed something to just, break the mood and remind us that there is going to be light at the end of this tunnel. So I just have been jotting down some notes here. I know, M&S said something about doing the free resumes and the free consulting time and downtown yoga, and send me those stories. Just certainly email them to me, and feel free to include a link to any Facebook or any social media pictures, and we'd be happy to include them on our email blast. Our email blast reaches, I believe, I'm going to say over 2,700. I don't want to misquote that. Mike can correct me if I'm wrong. But, it's another opportunity for you to be able to stay engaged and connected to the business community while promoting your business. And I know sometimes people don't want to pat themselves on the back, but, you deserve it if you're, you're doing what you can in these times, and that's great.
Thanks so much, Becky. I appreciate that. So I don't see any other questions. I don't see any other hands. I do want to say I'm sorry to my friends at CMC, because before this happened, we went over a list of things I was going to say in the beginning, and I think I forgot to say a couple. So you might have seen some slides come up for things like Leadership Carroll that we are now taking applications for next year's class. It's an amazing program. If you have any questions about it, you can certainly call me. You can call me on my cell phone if you want, 410-977-3111. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. And we're also taking applications for the Carroll Biz Challenge, which is our entrepreneurial contest, kind of like a Shark Tank, like a local Shark Tank show. And that's pretty amazing. Somebody was talking. Was that you, Tiombe? Did you have a point?
No, but I'll wait to the end to say something.
All right. But yes, the Carroll Biz Challenge, we're taking applications through the end of May, and we'd absolutely love to have you apply. If you've got a new business that you've just started up or you're trying to start up amidst COVID-19, or if you've got a business that you haven't started up, what better time to sit at home instead of making a puzzle and work on the different aspects of what your business would look like. And the grand prize is five grand, plus a lot of other things that you get along with that. So, Tiombe, I'll give you a chance for a couple last words, and then I'll wrap things up.
Nope. So I just wanted to take 2 moments to say thank you to everyone, but I also wanted to extend my creative services. If you are a business out there and you hear this and you maybe just need someone to bounce a couple of ideas off of, or you need someone to just help you figure out how to create that plan that I talked about, you can look me up through the chamber and feel free to reach out to me. I know on the chamber page, my email, my phone number, all my contact information is there. I am available to all of you in the same way that some of you have made yourselves available to me. So I wanted to slide that out there. I definitely don't want to give people all these tips and then go, grow, prosper. I'm here if you need someone that just can help you sort of put things into boxes and figure it out a little bit. Thank you, Mike, for doing this. I really appreciate it. As much as I fought you on it, this has been great.
You fight me on everything, and I'm going to mute you now. So before I give our wrap-up comments, we have a couple minutes left. I'd like to turn things over if I could. I didn't ask him, but he's always got things to say. And that is the executive director of the Community Media Center, Mr. Richard Turner, without whom this event right now would not be happening in any way like it is. So, Richard, you want to say a couple words about what you guys are doing? Because I'm extremely impressed.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Why else would we be in communications, right? If I didn't have something to say. But I really appreciate the partnership that we developed with the Chamber, because we feel it's really important to be part of our community, have this resource that we have in the Community Media Center, so that people can become more informed. And as we shift towards using new technologies like all these webinars that are floating out there, our municipal governments that are continuing to meet utilizing virtual meetings through Zoom and WebEx, that we pivoted as well. So we wanted to make sure that we could use this technology to get the message and information about what's going on in our community. So while Mike reminds you to shop local, I remind you to watch local, and that you can always depend upon us. If you got something that's an important message you want to get out to the community, you want to create that message, you want to get it to us, that's why we're here as a resource to use these technologies in ways that benefit our community. So I really appreciate the partnership. Thank Mike and the Chamber for their efforts. And we're an active part of making sure that we can get through this state of emergency together, find our way out through the other side, and become a more robust community as a result. So thanks for that, Mike.
Richard, thank you so much for all that you've done and for all that you keep doing with us. I want to give one last plug out for all of the little businesses out there. When this is over, don't forget them. Go back to them. We've got some restaurants now that have actually closed down. They don't offer curbside. They don't offer anything like that. They're just shut down. Don't forget about them. When things open up, go back to them. Spend money wherever possible. If they offer gift cards online, check it out. Buy a gift card. Help to infuse some cash into them now, some actual revenue to help them during these difficult times. Because even those major loans coming out of the Fed or the grants, the 360 billion or whatever, that's all gone right now. Hopefully there'll be another wave of it. But I mean, so some businesses got a lot of money that I wouldn't necessarily call small business, but I'm not going to comment. That'd be a whole nother thing. And we get a lot of people pretty irate on that when they see businesses like, let's say, Ruth Criskett, I think was like 20 million or more. But don't forget the small businesses, please. And do all you can during this time to be kind to each other, cut people slack. There's a lot of stuff going on. If somebody puts an email out or a Facebook post that you don't quite agree with, don't be so quick to just, kind of like cut them off or slam back at them or whatever. Have some patience with each other. This is a very difficult time right now. We're all stuck at home, or a lot of us are. We're trying to figure out what to do with the business. And I just believe that if there's ever been a time to be gentle, to be kind with each other, this is the time. So, Tiombe, thank you so much for your time. Richard and your group, thank you so much for all you did. And for everybody who's been on the call and has taken part in it, I really do appreciate that. You should try to be on our first virtual networking group on May 7th. We'll see how that goes. I've been told that Zoom can divide people up into groups of 5, and that's what we're going to try to do. It could be pretty funny. It could bomb completely, or it could be good. I mean, I think this was a decent meeting right here too. So thank you. And don't forget our next webinar is going to be April 29th. All of our events, all of our members can be found by going to carrollcountychamber.org. We've got events, we've got everything on there. All the members, 620 some, and they're all looking for you to give them a call. So for lunch today, and it's getting close, make sure you go out to a local restaurant and get some carry-out food, okay? Talk to everybody later. Thank you again for being with us. We're going to end the meeting now. Thanks.
Thank you.